Preston he was just one of those bubbly type people. He loved everybody.
Anybody that ever met him, he always left a lasting impression on them. And they say he was always just the sweetest guy they've ever met.
He was a soldier stationed at Fort Bliss. He had done his basic training at Fort Jackson, which is in Columbia. After he'd done all the training he had to do, that's where they stationed him, was El Paso. And that was around 2011. The next year, he returned home, visited us for a week, and after that, that was basically our last time with him, and that's when we got the phone call.
When he went back to El Paso, actually got back from overseas and back in the States for just a short time, and he got hit one night by a stray bullet.
I gotten a call from his commander, and they said he'd had an accident. So immediately, I just assumed maybe it was a car accident, he'd be okay. Then the next words were that he'd been shot. And then everything after that point was a blur.
You sort of prepare yourself when someone goes overseas, okay, something might happen. You don't want it to, but it might. But when they come home, you sort of breathe a sigh of relief and you think, okay, we're home free. He's back, but that's not what God had planned for him.
Every night I went to sleep, I would think about him. Every morning I woke up, I thought about him. And that went on for months at a time. It was an adjustment. We went from the 4 of us to now it's 3. But I can say that as a result of his death, that, I donated 5 of his organs, so 5 lives were saved. And in 2014, we had the pleasure of meeting his heart recipient. I get a lot of joy out of that, and just knowing who he was. He was just that great person who cared for everybody, and it helps me cope on a daily basis.
I never met him, but I feel like I met him. When talking to his family and how they talk about him and how good of a guy he was, and you could just tell that that he spread a lot of joy.
It's just really a gift to get to sit with someone who's been through such a great loss, and then they're able to be strong enough to share with you and then turning it into something great and healing like what T.A.P.S has to offer.
Deborah came, and she actually had words written down, and she pulled so much from the bio that we sent. Everything that she read about the family and about Preston was in that bio. And, we were able to actually add our own touch to it, and they were able to bring it in and tweak it, but it was amazing.
It just reminds us everything about him. It's his, come on, press on, keep going, keep getting up, let's keep moving. We got this. And even for us, that was one of the things we can remember about him.
It's something that I can say I'll never forget, to just know that there's a song that has his name in it, because a lot of times people would say his name and then they would apologize. And I would say, I don't want you to apologize, because they think that it hurts me because they called his name, but it doesn't. I love it to know that you thought about him. And I know it's something that I will always cherish for the rest of my life.